All right, I'm finally recording with modern Neoform. This is my take on basically the version that made top 8 at the recent Modern Pro Tour, except I've swapped a main deck Endurance, I believe, with Ureni because it's so good against all the white in the format. The rest of it's pretty stock. It's very anti-blue. Sideboard, I have a little bit, probably too much artifact and enchantment hate, but I don't really know what else to play right now, and I find myself bringing these cards in quite a lot. Anyway, let's play the games. Round number 1. Let's see. This hand has 2 lands, a pact that I can't use, and no real easy way to cast a creature. Got the Eldritch Evolution. I mean, this is really borderline. I can protect my Eldritch Evolution at the point when I come to play it. The question is, will I get to play it? I'm going to keep. I'm on the draw. I have a Surveil. I really value Surveil lands. I think they're very good. The problem is this deck is very tight on slots. You need critical mass of green cards. And these cards are not green. All right. I kind of want that Summoner's Pact. If I bin it, then our opponent knows exactly what I'm on. But I need my third land more than anything. And I haven't given up on Hooting Mandrills yet. Opponent surveilled a mountain on my end step. And let's see, what are they up to? Reckless Impulse. This looks like Storm. In fact, this is 100% guaranteed to be Storm. Consign to Memory would be a good draw here. Had I known this was a Storm opponent, let's see, what can I do? There's my third land. All right, so I'm going to play this tapped, and I'm going to run out the Rider. Unfortunately, I can't use this Pact of Negation yet. All right, they're only casting Strike it Rich. That's not that good. They play Ral Monsoon Mage with 1 mana available. Unfortunately, that has to resolve. It's unclear why they didn't save their Strike it Rich, but then again, it's also unclear why I would play Allosaurus Rider. So I'm just going to get my Breeding Pool, actually my Forest, and we'll just let them do their thing. If I lose, we'll go to game 2. Okay, our opponent flipped their Ral early. And get a Grizzlebrand. I don't really like that play I just made. I should have attacked them. Consign to Memory now would be what we want to hit off of Grizzlebrand. Our opponent fetched for a mountain and then didn't play one. I think that was a misclick. All right. Still no Consign to Memory. I'll try again. There's Consign to Memory, the very last card. I'm just going to start firing off Pact of Negations. This represents all of their mana, and we will not be letting that resolve. Okay, now what I think I'm going to do, because I'm not worried about Force of Negation, I only have 2 packs. I'm going to go get Summoner's Pact. Well, I'm going to use Summoner's Pact. Actually, no. Yeah, I will. Use it now. Put the Xenagos in my hand. Target. Target. This is a hard card to resolve. And I didn't play this correctly. I should have actually just... well, no, it's because I already had to pay 2. So I figured I'd just get the other pact in while I was at it. But that did take away my potential to just naturally Neoform for a Xenagos, so that was bad. Bad play by me. Let's see. Play the Misty. And go to discard. We win. This one's tricky. Like, Endurance can kind of blow them out. Dismember can kind of blow them out. They don't really play blue spells, even though they do play instants for Orange Chant. So I don't want to change too much. There's a thought that I want Hope of Gearfur. But if they ever flip a Ral, that just kills it. Let's see, I think they don't really play any like Vexing Baubles, so I don't want Hooty Mandrills. I think I want Dismember Endurance. And I'll take out 2 Veil of Summers. And then Veil of Summer doesn't actually do anything, so I'll bring in 2 Natural States. Game number 2, what does this hand have? We have 2 lands, Neoform, Summoner's Pact. This has pretty much everything, it just needs a consign to memory. I'll keep. Okay, opponent surveils. There's the Rider, so the Summoner's Pact could just be lethal turn 2. With interaction. Granted, not good interaction. We shall surveil. I wonder if they play Blood Moon. Do I need that in my hand? No. Oh, what am I discarding next turn? Next turn I discard. Yeah, I'll keep that, actually. I'll keep that way. I can keep a Planar Genesis in my hand in case I somehow don't win. Alright, play this. Opponent goes Morphos. I'm just going to see if I can nip this in the bud. Alright, we have Consign, but no Pact of Negation. I guess this can happen. I don't want to go to 3, then they can just basically just Grape Shot us. Alright, this isn't actually adding mana. There's Ral, and now I really don't want to... Well, I guess I'm at 3. I guess I would go to... Yeah, no, I would go to 2 if I paid 7, so if they flip this, they could just kill me. Okay, big smart there. What do I want to do with this turn? I actually do have another... No, I don't. Alright, opponent tapped their mana. I think we're safe. Well, actually, I only have 1 pact. So I don't think I can kill them yet. Because I need to use this pact for a rider. Should have kept that other rider. Darn. Oh well. Didn't think that one through. We shall draw a bunch of cards and see what's up. Discard to hand size, pass the turn. Now something sometimes these Storm players do is put a bunch of cast triggers from Ral on the stack. Like, yeah, they might... I'm not going to do it yet, but if they have more instants, they should play them there. It basically gives you more chances to flip Ral with more counters on it. Not actually sure how it works, but it's better. That's 2. So I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna look for my Endurance. Or just my Force of Negation. Either would be fine. Pact of Negation, I mean. I realize I have an Endurance in my hand. Let's just Pact, though. Pact that. Yes, I'm aware. Alright, opponent casts a new card that I've never seen called Untimely Malfunction, and change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. What to do about that? So they'll change the target of Pact of Negation to itself. Do I want to go Down to 3 life. No, I have a better plan. I'm going to target these RAL triggers with a consign to memory. Target that RAL trigger. All right, and then I'm going to let the stack resolve so it's just Past in Flames again. And pitch Cast Endurance. And opponent has just seen enough. On to round number 2. Round number 2, what do we have? We have 2 lands, Allosaurus Rider, and a Xenagos. So all this needs is a Neoform. That's a keep in my book. Opponent plays Temple Garden into Aether Vial. Surveil a forest to the graveyard. Could have kept the forest. Didn't need it. Let's use the Generous into Surveil again. This is a little dangerous if they're like a crazy person and they have like a surgical extraction. Game 1, I'm not going to play into that. Also, we're drawing a lot of monsters. Of note, this is likely a Solitude deck, so Xenagos with Galta isn't the most reliable kill. However, when you just naturally draw Xenagos, then there's really no downside, especially when you also draw Ureni and Griselbrand. Like, the battle of this game is just going to be drawing an evolution spell. It's not going to be dealing with it's not going to be figuring out what creatures to put into play. And we get a Planar Genesis here to look for quite a few creatures. This is the second weird take on energy cats that I've seen today. I didn't record earlier, but somebody was playing like Urza Saga energy earlier. All right, there's Neoform. What if everything you ever wanted came in a magic card? Get rid of these 2 useless spells. They're not even 8 mana creatures. What are they doing in my hand? All right. Y'all ready for this? All right. You know what I'm going with that. Let's kill Guide of Souls. Goodbye. And make sure to target the right creature. Although I think any of them would do. Before damage, let's draw. And then draw again. Alright. I feel pretty confident about this game. Opponent agrees. Game number 2. Alright, opponent has seen enough. I guess they didn't like my singing and dancing earlier. On to round number 3. Round number 3 with Modern Neoform. And this hand's very good. It's got to turn to Fatty into potentially, if we draw a Pact, we could just win. I'll just go ahead and bottom that. I'd like to up my chances of drawing another green card. All right. Let's go ahead and try to combo. I think I will, well, obviously, I'm going to use these packs to protect my combo. And we may just really have to draw. Actually, all right. So if I have to pact, then I'm going to get Griselbrand or Atraxa. If I don't have to pact, I think I just get Ureni. All right, so how does this go? Next turn they play a land. I attack for 11. And then the next turn they can play another land and have Supreme Verdict. So that's a no for me. I'm just going to play Grizzlebrand. If we had been on the play, we were protected. By protected, I mean we could have cast Urani and killed them before they would get 4 mana for their Supreme Verdict. Yeah, and there's the problem with Grizzlebrand. It's not safe from their removal. That's why I was considering Urani. I don't know if these decks even play Supreme Verdict. That's probably something I should know. If they have another Solitude, they're incentivized to use it now. All right. I don't end up getting the consign. Let's do it again. Just need a consign. No consign to memory. Okay. All right, we've got to beat a Solitude. And I have to discard. Let's see. All right. I won't subject you to that thinking. I had to pick what to keep in my hand. This is what I came up with. Opponent leaves up their mana and does nothing. So I think I'm going to just chill. I think I've managed to basically reset myself in the game, so I don't feel like I have an advantage to press, but I also don't feel like I'm losing by that much either. I really need to leverage these surveils into more action spells. I'm kind of glad I kept this extra land because then I could Veil plus Eldritch Evolution. Okay, so what I'm looking for is an evolution spell. Or I guess I would take like another what's the card spell? Cosmic something or another. Planar Genesis. I would take a Planar Genesis or an evolution here. That's not what I need. Summoner's Pact is a little bit unnecessary. What I'll do here, because I have the extra cards, is I'll play out the Rider just to block. This is probably a Riddler. Oh, no, it's a Solitude. That's not the end of the world. Of all the things I could have tapped out for, Solitude is not that bad. I lose my Rider, but I still just need an evolution. That didn't change. Did not draw the evolution, but I'm not dead. Although I can't ever even use this fetch land. I'll give it one more turn. Opponent has Flage. We cannot pay for our pack trigger. I will concede. All right, they don't appear like they're a blink deck. They just appear like they're a control deck. Definitely want Mysticals. Probably Endurance as well. Out versus them, I think we want one Evolution out, one Genesis. Summoner's Pact. I'll take out one Galta and I think one Xenagos. I don't think those cards are how I win. Game number 2. This hand has a lot of what we want, so I'll keep. Against the blue control deck, this hand should be good. Evolution on top. I'll play into Planar Genesis here unless they give me something to do with Mystical Dispute. Consign to Memory is also kind of nice, but I just want to keep hitting land drops. Plus the Surveil is nice. What does my next turn look like? I don't think I'm going to try to combo next turn. I think I can sculpt a little bit longer. I will put this on top, though, and play it as a land. Getting to 5 mana for Pactive Negation is kind of clutch. So that took the green card out of my hand, but we don't have to win the game quickly. One of the ways I've found to lose with Neobrand is to just go for it into an opponent that's representing some sort of interaction without a plan to beat at least one form of interaction. And with this hand, obviously, like I can go Veil of Summer, still have Mystical Dispute. Just need enough resources to do it. Green cards, lands in play, etc. Round 4. What do we have? If this just had a blue land, this would be pretty, well, even then, this wouldn't be that good. So it's a one-lander that can't really do anything else. I'm going to mulligan. Okay, what's going on here? There's potentially everything we need. I'm going to keep this and send back Pact of Negation. Surveil, Planar Genesis to the bottom. I don't need any more of those. Opponent cast Faithful Mending. So this is a Goryo's deck. Not going to do anything about that. And there's an Atraxa in the yard. Alright, perhaps that counterspell would have been good to keep. Noted for next time. Go ahead and get an island and Planar Genesis. There's the Rider. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for the... Well, can I go for this with... Let's see. I'm going to take the Rider regardless. I'm trying to think about if I go for it or not. I think if I draw an untapped land, I definitely do. There's an extra green card. Yeah. Go for the Neoform. This pretty much has to get Grizzlebrand. The problem is if I get Ureni, they can just get an Atraxa, and even though I have protection, I don't have vigilance. So at that point, we're just trading damage, but they've drawn a bunch of cards, so I'm going to get Grizzlebrand here. And I'm just going to draw this now to see if I can put another Allosaurus Rider in play. Should I go to 1 to try to counter this? Yeah, why not? I'm dead to a Bowmasters now. Alright, I can consign that trigger. We're good. I don't have any packs to pay for. Consign the exile trigger. And then I draw another 7 cards. I'm going to start playing out these Riders. What all is in my hand? Alright, because I don't have any green mana now, I'm going to ditch the Veil of Summer. And I'll get rid of the land that kills me. Well, actually, I should have got rid of the Flooded Strand if I was going to get rid of the land that killed me. Golly. Opponent goes for Goryo's Vengeance. I will try to pact that. And that just resolved immediately. Consign my pact trigger. Go to the draw step. Still at 1 life. Don't fetch. Resist the urge. And smash with everybody. Alright. Gained 8. Feeling pretty good. Opponent plays another Goryo's Vengeance. Going to look for... Well, obviously, that was bad. Not good hits. I still have some draws here, though. Start with Veil of Summer. Because they've cast a black spell, I will draw a card. Okay. I drew the Pact. Nice. This can't be countered. I will consign with Replicate. And we win. Against them, I don't think Dismember does anything. Definitely want Endurance, definitely want Mystical. Out. I'm going to take out a Pact, Eldritch. There is Solitude deck, so I think my Galta plan's not quite as good, although I'll keep one in for value. Yeah, against a deck with Solitude, it's kind of dangerous to go for Xenagos, because when you go for Xenagos kills, you tend to end up with a pretty empty hand, so you can't rely on having a Pact of Negation around at all times. And what else do I not want? I guess get rid of a Planar Genesis. There's actually a school of thought that I should have taken, or I should have added a Hootie Mandrills to the deck. This is 2 lands. They're not the... they're pretty good. Pretty good. All right, I'll keep this. I can be convinced to keep this. I'm never going to mill over my Allosaurus Rider, so I don't have to worry about it getting surgical. And if it does, our opponent's just a badass. This hand's also pretty safe from Thoughtseize. If they Thoughtseize me, I think they probably... I don't know what I would take if I was them. I think I might take the Disciple. Opponent mulligans to 5. I like that. It's important to keep that in mind when evaluating how aggressive I should be. As long as I can leverage card advantage. I mean, I'm about to have 8 cards in hand versus 4. Drew another Hedge Maze. Not the best, but not the worst either. And I think I have some time here. I'm actually going to keep that Consign to Memory. I don't want to lose this game because I end up having to Grizzlebrand for Consign to Memory and not hit it. Quantum Riddle or whatever. It's just a card draw spell right now. I would have liked to have Mystical Dispute for that, but it's not necessary. Goodbye, Riddler. Okay, now I'm looking for Riders. And maybe Mandrills. No, not Mandrills. I don't have anything in my graveyard. Don't need that. And if that gets surgical, that's a little bit of a problem. It just is what it is at this point, though. If our opponent goes for some Riddler nonsense, we can Pact Consign it, I guess. Which means I think I would Pact the initial Riddler so they don't get the card. Alright, we go to our turn. There's the Rider. I think I just go for it. Cast Planar Genesis, exile. Sorry, cast Allosaurus Rider, exile these 2. Is that just going to resolve immediately? Sack the Rider. We dodge the Subtlety, which is the backbreaker. They Pact. Are they force? I packed. I keep confusing these two cards. They have two cards in hand. And not another counterspell. We Grizzlebrand. We draw. Did not draw any additional creatures. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. And start ditching some fetch lands. Dead, start digging some nerd holes. We will consign with replicate. Opponent goes to do something. Getting a blue mana for another force of negation? That doesn't do anything. Okay. Yeah, they forced. Yeah, same target. It doesn't do anything. All right, on to round number 5. Yeah, this hand just has a turn 2 go off protected. I'll keep. And I think I'll take the 2 life just in case our opponent goes turn 1 Thoughtseize. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. Because it will be taking a lot of damage from my lands, which will cut down on my potential, Grizzlebrand activations. I'm confusing my massive creatures. Alright, a blue-red deck. And this looks like probably still energy because they're playing a blue-red fetch. Not energy, I mean a blue-white-red. So that being the case, that's just a turn 2. Cast Neoform. The only thing that gets us here would be a Force of Negation. Sometimes people too just play the main deck. Alright, they don't have it. Pact of Negation. Xenagos. And good game opponent. I guess they could still have Solitude, but I have Pact, so we're good. Alright. We don't know really anything about our opponent's deck. I just think it's energy again. Not energy. I keep calling it energy. Blue at red. They have some energy cards, but in general, it's not energy. I think I want these 5 cards, and then out will come 1 Eldritch, 1 Xenagos. Even though Xenagos got the win there, it's in general not the best way to win. And then if it turns out we're up against like Prowess, I'll bring it back. Bring in these 5. There's less pressure on our Summoners packs when we don't have the Xenagos kill in our deck. Opponent plays Steam Vents into another Ragavan. Prowess doesn't usually do that. Another Consign, not really what I needed. They could Blood Moon us next turn. See what our opponent hits. Anything but Neoform. Misty, that's fine. They riddle. I wish one of these was a Mystical Dispute, but it's not, and I'm not going to waste a Veil. Just cycling it right now. And they're not going to play Blood Moon either. They can't with their mana base. I think I will keep another Misty on top. That allows me to preserve green cards. Well, I can't do anything about that, so we're just going to have to deal with a 4/6 that draws a card. We may even be past the point where Ureni can save us. Do they want the card or do they want to do 4 damage? They choose not to cast their rebound ephemerate, so they want to race. I can't say I blame them. I think they're in a good spot here. They play a haste creature. Let's see what it is. It's just a Quantum Riddler. It can attack. Oh boy. Pact of Negation, not what I needed. I can't do anything. We'll go to game 3. Alright, I would like to turn in the 4/1. This hand will need to draw an Allosaurus Rider to do that. I like those odds. At least we have 2 lands. I'm not going to bank on needing it turn 2. I'm going to get a Surveil land here. And I'm going to remember to use my Planar Genesis this game. I'm still a little bit fuming from last game. There is the Rider. Well, shoot. Now I wish I would have played the, well, I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know what cards I was going to draw. And I think waiting for the Veil of Summer Protection is a good idea anyway. I'll take another land here. That's not what I need. Hopefully they don't surgical. One thing that's unclear is if they have subtlety in their deck. I think they play some number of them, but I don't think they play a lot. I think it's more the Atraxa blue piles that play subtleties. Fable the Mirror Breaker, not the most threatening thing. It's pretty good though. Alright, land. Then it's like way less likely that my combo is to win. So let's say I let them discard draw 2 and they go up to like Solitude, Force of Negation, and they can play both. Man, this really sucks. I wish we had a land. I don't think I need to force the combo yet. So I called this phase of the game the Tannenberg hand cannon plan. I'm loading up 1 shot, and that's all I get. Flage in the graveyard, that's important to remember. That is increasing the time pressure on us. Our opponent is very much the beatdown. Well, sort of. It's weird. I don't know. How do we roll a sign? I'm going to take the risk of letting them hit Mystical. Oh, no. Oh, no. See, the reason I didn't do that is because I could have, like... Oh, no. That was so bad. I can't do this. I can't believe this. All right, well, this turned out to be a very happy accident. So it happened again. Our opponent hit the Mystical on a turn that we were planning on casting Planar Genesis. But now I get to do this sick play. This is going to bait out my own Mystical. And then I'm going to Veil of Summer, draw a card. Spells I control can't be countered this turn. We got so lucky that they drew their amazing hate piece in that specific scenario. Not going to pay 3. And I drew a breeding pool. Oh my gosh, that was so lucky. That was so unlucky, followed by lucky. All right, so I think I've identified clearly all the ways to misplay with Planar Genesis and get rewarded. Take 2. Summoner's Pact. I'm okay with that drawback. What do I need here? The Rider. Cast Rider. Neoform. What do I put into play? I think I have to get Grizzlebrand. Now, I think this is good news. I think our opponent would have solituded on our turn if they could have. Although they could just play another land and hardcast it. Oh, this is bad. This could be bad, I mean. It could also be good. They cast Quantum Riddler. Yeah, I'll let that resolve. Now if they want to use Ephemerate, they have to kill their treasure token. They Solitude, that's bad. I'm trying to counter this with Pact of Negation, and I have succeeded. And also I drew the Consigned to Memory that I also had to draw. So that worked out pretty good. And I can also cycle this Veil of Summer. Do I want to just cycle Veil of Summer? No, they could win by like casting Teferi. Hmm. All right, I gotta put these on the stack. If they have Consigned to Memory, I think I lose. Because this says spells I control can't be countered. Target. Nice. Magic Online is freaking out. Okay, good. Although I don't have the mana to cast my fight spell yet. That's a little bit annoying. So what would I do? There's no world here where I spend 2 mana. So I'm just going to play the Garden tapped. Alright, I go to 12. And then does the opponent just kill me? Yeah, I think they do. Can I do anything about this? Shoot, I think I messed this game up. I think I should have played Misty, fetched an island, used Planar Genesis. Darn it. I'm just dead here. So if I pay 7, I go to 5. I can't gain any more life. Even if I were to invoke an Endurance, they still take 6 next turn. Do I have any plays that win the game? No, I don't. I think I blew this game. Thanks for watching.